Okay, this is the video to accompany the countdown to Christmas box number 7, and this is one of my absolute favourites. We are going to make this beautiful angel using macrame string. So in your kit you've got 9 metres of string, you've got a gold pipe cleaner, you've got a bead, the wooden ring and this thin thread. But you are going to need a few extra little tools. So you're going to need a ruler, you're going to need a clip, this is a swallow clip, or a clothes peg will be just as good, a comb and a pair of scissors. So the first job we need to do is cut 14 pieces of string that are 40 centimetres in length. So I'm just going to measure 30 and 10, cut one and then measure another 13 exactly that length. So I'll do that and come back to you. Okay, so I've got all my strings cut that are 14 pieces that are 40 centimetres in length, and now I'm going to attach them to the wooden ring, and I'm going to do that by folding them in half. So I've got a loop, passing the loop through the hoop and then bringing the tails through that loop like so, and this is called a lark's head, and I'm going to carry on doing that till I've got 7 on each side, because 7 makes up one wing. Okay, so just keep going until you've got them all attached. Fold it in half, pass the loop under the ring, bring the tails through the loop and pull it tight. Okay, so that's them all attached. Now don't be fooled because they look different on whichever side you hold it. So if I turn it that way, you can see we've got these little ridges, and if I turn it that way, you can see there aren't any. Okay, so it's just important that you have it the right way up for working on it, but the actual angel looks both equally good from both sides, although this is the front. So you want to turn it so that you've got the bubbles on the top now and that you can see them. So once you've done that, you are then going to cut 2 pieces that are 50 centimetres in length, and I'm going to now get my tray, or you can use a hardback book, and my clip, and I'm going to attach it to the tray to do my double half hitches. Okay, so we're making these lovely double half hitch stitches here. They go down the side of the wing and then back up again. And how to do it is attach the 50 centimetre piece of string to a tray or a hardback book, lay it across the 7 lark's heads that you've got on the one side of the ring, and then using the first string you're going to tie a double half hitch, and we do that by going around the string that you've attached to the tray once and then bring it over here and go around twice, now taking it through that loop to pull it nice and tight. Now the second one is important because the second one will tighten it down onto the ring. So still tying around this long piece of string, take the second string and go around, pull it tight and slide it up and then go around again. So each time you're tying it around this string that we've got attached to the tray twice. So move on to the next one. Make sure it's pulled nice and tight against the wooden ring. Take this one over and around and slide it up, and then over and around and slide it up, pull it tight. Keeping this one taut the whole time in your other hand. Okay, so over and around, over and around. So each string you're tying twice around this string that you're holding on the tray. So I'm going to carry on tying them all twice until I get to the bottom of this wing. So once you get to the bottom of that side, you're going to get your second piece of string, which was 50 centimetres, add that to the tray, lay that across this now right side, and you're going to do the same thing again. Wrap it round once and then wrap it round twice and pull it tight, like so. Pull it tight. Remembering that that second knot of this lark's head will pull that first one for you nice and tight, because you want it right up next to the ring. My thing has come off, so there we go. And keep going. Get the next two, wrap them round. And the next one, and keep going all the way down this right hand side of the angel. Right, so once you get to the end, just take a check that you've got it right. Have a look at the back, make sure there's that nice even knot that you're creating. And I'm going to just take it off my tray and I'm going to turn it round, because now I'm going to tie double half hitches all the way back to the top. So if you see what I did, I had it attached that way, like that, and I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to come back down. So I'm going to put that one that I'm not using at the moment just to hold it in place, and then I'm going to use this long one to come back across all of these double half hitches, using one of the threads at a time to go around once and then around twice and pull it tight. And that's how we get these little tufts that are on the edge of the angel that we'll comb out and trim when we get to the end. So wrap it round once, wrap it round twice and pull it up. And you're going to keep going on this side until we get to the top. And when you get to the top, even this last thread here that was originally attached to our tray, we're going to double half hitch that around the long string, like that. And then this will make our tie for the top of the angel. So I'm going to repeat that this way. So I've got very little to attach it to my tray with now, but anything will do just to hold it in place. Bring all those strings out, and then I'm going to double half hitch all the way round to the bottom here. So first one once, and then twice, and keep going. Once, twice, keeping this long one coming across the whole time. It's just the shorter ones that you're wrapping around twice and really pulling tight and pushing up to get that ridge of the wing that we're creating. So I'll keep going until I get to the top. Okay, again, when you get to the top, just bring that last string as a double half hitch, and that's going to leave us those two strings to hang it up by. So let's turn it up the right way, and the next job is to add the little bead in the middle for the little angel's head. So I'm just going to use the string to go around the hoop. Just going to tie it once just to stop it moving around. And then I'm going to thread those through the bead. And once you're through, you're going to just tie that to the top of the hoop, just like this one here. So, that round. And you just want to make sure it's a nice secure knot, because you don't want it falling off. So I always like to do a reef knot, which is a left over right, a right over left, and then there it is. And we can just cut away those excess. And once that's in place, you need to make yourself a little halo that goes around that piece of string. You don't have to use all of the pipe cleaner provided, you can cut some of that away. And there she has a little halo, and that just leaves us the dress to make next. So in order to make the dress, you need to cut 6 pieces of string that are 30 centimeters in length. So I'm going to do that and get rid of my tray for now. Okay, so now to make the dress with these little pieces of string that are 30 centimeters, you're just going to thread them around the bottom part of the wooden ring like this. So no lark's heads, nothing fancy. You're just going to thread them around and lay them next to each other. So 3 on either side of the fine string that you've attached the head with. 3 that side and then 3 the other side. And this is where I've just shuffled the strings along to make sure there is space to fit those in place. So you might just need to push your wings out of the way for a little bit and then gather them together and try and get them so that they're laying neatly. Okay, so with them all laying nice and neat, you need another piece of string which is 40 centimeters. This should be the last bit that you have. And what you're going to do is lay it on top of her where you want her waist, like this. So it's down from the bead, back up, so you've got a loop. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wrap all these little pieces of string with this piece of string, this longer one. And this is going to make her little waist. So pull it round 3 times and back to the front for the 4th. And then the end that you've been wrapping, you take through the loop, and then the end up here that wasn't forming the loop, you pull, and this is going to tighten into a binding stitch behind her waistband. So pull it nice and tight because you don't want it to come undone, and you want the knot to sort of go behind her lovely little waist, like so. And then we need to spend a little bit of time just pulling through these strings that make up her skirt so that they lay nice and neatly. Right, it's worth spending a little bit of time at this point just getting it to lay exactly as you want it to, so it's nice and neat, like so. And then this bit from the top you don't need, so you can cut that away, and you can cut the bottom bit away as well. Like so. And then the only thing left to do is some combing and some cutting. So I'm going to pop it back on my tray so you can see me do that properly. Okay, so now to the final touches. So these 2 strings at the top that were coming out of the wings, we just want to tie them into a little knot so that you've got something to hang her up with, like so. And I can just tidy the ends by cutting them the same length. Then these side bits here, they all need to be combed out. So if you've got one that's a bit long, cut that away to start with because it just makes the combing out easier. And then just using a comb, work your way along so that the string unravels, like so. And then this will create that lovely fluffy texture on the edge of the wings. And you can do it on both sides. Turn it over so it unravels on that side too. Once you've unravelled it, you're going to trim it. I'm just going to trim these little thin strings out of the way because I didn't need those. So you can see the difference already. And on this side now, all you need to do is get your nice sharp scissors and cut it round so that it follows the path of the wing. Push them out of the way so they don't get stuck to everything, and then repeat on the other side. Okay, so that's both sides cut and frayed and trimmed, and then the last job is to comb out the skirt and make that lovely and flowy. So you need to start from the bottom so that you start to unwind it here first, and then work your way up until all the fibres have untwisted. So it takes a little bit of work, but it's certainly worth it to create that lovely angel floating skirt. Okay, so there it is. I perhaps should have videoed me combing that because it did take an awful lot of combing, but just keep going, it's worth it, and it's really satisfying when you get to the point where your comb does actually go through it. And then once you're happy with it, give it a trim so that your angel has got a nice tidy straight hem at the bottom. So you might want to do that with it lying down or holding it up, whichever you find easiest. And then that is your angel, your macrame angel from box number 7.